to chew on. The Lunchroom on RCI, Monday to Friday, 12:45 to 2 p.m. The Lunchroom, informative, enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI, food for thought. The station that gives you, more lunch.
It is Wednesday, August the 14th, 2024, and this is program number 1231 of the Lunchroom. I'm your host, Alex George Jr. Now, in addition to radio, 101.1 FM, you can also get us at our website, rcistlucia.com, and you can always download our previous shows on that platform. We are also streaming live on our Facebook page. Just search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International. And please be sure to like and share that as well with your friends and family. If you want to call in to make a contribution to tell us what's on your plate today, the number to do so is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. And we also could be reached on our WhatsApp number. That is 724-0008. You can message into that number or you can call in as well. And again, that number is 724-0008. Now, today we want to send out some birthday greetings to Mr. Kevin Scotland. Happy birthday to you, Kevin. And we do hope that you're having a fantastic birthday celebration. All the best for your very special day. Bit of Scottish history, in fact. In the year 1040, on this day, King Duncan I of Scotland was killed in battle against his first cousin and rival, Macbeth. And in fact, he was not murdered in his sleep, as was in that play by Shakespeare. And Macbeth, in fact, did in fact succeed him as king. On 1945, on this day, VJ Day, as it was known, victory over Japan. The Empire of Japan surrendered unconditionally to the Allies, ending World War II. And in 1947, on this day, Pakistan gained independence from the United Kingdom. 1969, on this day, saw the British Army deploying on the streets of Northern Ireland, marking the beginning of Operation Banner. 1980, on this day, some Polish history here. 17,000 workers went on strike at the Lenin shipyard in Gdansk in Poland, marking the beginning of the Solidarity movement in that Eastern European country. We now head across to our dish of the day. The daily dish is brought to you the kind compliments of our good friends at Tiles Plus.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+, need all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gasware and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Lands Road in Castries, Bosses Jugo Zile, and Flag Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tiles Plus.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
And welcome back to our program here today at the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. Now, of course, we have been spending quite a bit of time focusing on the matter of sport. And of course, that no doubt has been thrust into the minds of many St. Lucians as we continue to bask in the success and the glory of Julian Alfred, her remarkable performance at the just concluded Summer Olympics over in Paris in France. And lots of conversations being had in various places, in watering holes, and amongst individuals, no doubt, and as well in the media as to where next, what is the next step, and of course, beyond the important conversation, certainly about um, how she is in fact celebrated, how she is in fact rewarded, because that is certainly part of the importance of recognizing how important sport is. The broader question about where we are going in terms of the development of sport and the importance of sport to our society is certainly being had, and I think it's a really good opportunity because there's so much at play in terms of sport and how sport has perhaps been used in so many different cultures to, in fact, achieve peace. And one of the mandates, you may even want to think of it, for the Olympics is that entire idea, this ideal that countries can come together and actually compete, but not compete in a violent way, not compete in through vitriol and anger, but can in fact channel their energies, can in fact show their prowess, their strength, not through their militaries, but in fact through sport on the courts, on the tracks, in the fields, on the water, in the water, and in so many diverse ways. And that has certainly been one of the driving mandates of events like the Olympics, and in fact, ensuring that individuals need not have to go out and engage in killing for sport. And that was a thing for in some cultures that killing was so very much ingrained um, in the way of life, that people could then redirect their energies into things that were a lot more peaceful and useful. And so it is certainly a really important and fascinating conversation that we can now have as a society about the criticality, the importance of having what is sometimes called a sports culture. And that takes quite often a long time to develop, a long time to grow, a long time to be ingrained and to be appreciated by the society. And in very many ways, quite often, unfortunately, sport may be pitted against other things, other areas, other quote unquote priorities that are quite often seen to be more critical to that of survival. And in many instances, sport then becomes grouped or classed into a sort of a non-essential pursuit. It's quite often classed within the context of recreation, almost to suggest that recreation is not that important. And we have come to realize that recreation is vitally important. Societies are, in fact, in many places, reordering themselves, reordering the way they work, so as to, in fact, ensure that people are getting more time to actually recreate, more time to enjoy nature, to enjoy the outdoors, to enjoy family, to enjoy culture, to enjoy society and interacting with other people, and enjoy those quote unquote finer things of life, because those things actually do matter in terms of the human spirit, in terms of our own self actualization as individuals, in terms of our mental and physical well being as people. And so, in fact, in some countries, you're seeing that they're even shifting away from long working days. as a means of being able to ensure that people have a better quality of life. And so, in as much as we quite often think of recreation or entertainment or sport within that context, it certainly does have a really important aspect in our lives. It's ironic because perhaps the culture that spends quite a lot in terms of sport is that of the United States, and it's, I suppose, the idea is here: work hard and play hard, because you clearly have very long working hours, very strong emphasis on spending time in the workplace, in the factory, in the office, wherever the workplace may be. But and not very much leave, not very long vacation being provided, but a great deal of interest in sport, and sport becoming certainly huge business in the case of the United States of America, to the point where billions and billions of dollars are invested in teams, in the competitive sport, in many different fields. And so that is certainly a telling aspect of it. But some countries have gone another route in terms of how they actually embrace it. And in fact, providing more time for leisure, providing shorter work weeks, reducing on the number of hours individuals actually work. In some instances, some countries are even going the route of extending the weekend, and not making it just be 2 days, but potentially even looking at a third day being included for people to be able to recreate and to enjoy family. And perhaps these things can occur, some may argue, within the context of post industrialization, which some of these countries are going through. But certainly, the importance of sport is really, really important with that context. And so I'm hoping that we can spend some time looking at some of these items regarding sport. And in fact, there was an interesting piece coming out of Choice News, I think just recently, where an individual, of course, who is very close to the success story and the beginnings of Julian Alfred, that of Mr. Modest, Mr. Twatine, giving some opinions on the matter of a sporting culture in St. Lucia, and where we are at. And so let's take a listen to this piece from Choice Television, which played on their newscast.
St. Lucia's athletes have historically had to fight an uphill battle against the odds. And without a dramatic change in corporate community and family culture, St. Lucia's most famous quote says, St. Lucia will never turn into a sporting powerhouse like Jamaica.
St. Lucia not a sporting culture. Most times, we having juvenile sports there, and parents they come and watch, they drop their child and they're going, no, we alone just have to do everything. You know what I'm saying there? So you must have a sporting culture, and and the people that live convent, college, Hess, and they have money, give back to the school, so they could make a good program. For instance, I went to Jamaica and watched boys and girls champs in time of Julian Alfred, And when I arrived there, I seen all the people from other places, like other schools, come back and give, like St. Catherine School, who give that, who give this, and everybody happy, you know what I'm saying? But we are giving nothing. We only want to take. Our palms always up, never down to give.
Although he is now a bona fide St. Lucian celebrity, Julian Alfred's childhood coach is just one of a cadre of St. Lucian coaches who believe in St. Lucia's young people even when their own parents and teachers lack faith. At a summer camp at Mindofile Park for Survivors Club, Coach Twatine, as he is affectionately known, is training the next generation of St. Lucia's elite athletes, alongside Coach Dezol Duncan and Cuban coach Roberto Castillo Calendar.
When I see a kid have a potential, I go all out to get him out of St. Lucia. But some of them, I try my best, but it does go on the wayside. But if I could save everybody in St. Lucia, prevent from doing crime, and bring them in sports, I would do it.
Many are hoping that in the next 4 years, a whole new generation of elite St. Lucian athletes and Olympians will successfully follow in Julian Alfred's footsteps. Two of those elite athletes who could go to the next Olympic Games, Naomi London and Kadeem Larcher, were training at the same time as the juniors from Survivors Club. London has already won a scholarship to study in Texas, and Larcher is scheduled to compete at the World Junior Championships in Peru next month. For Coach Twatine, St. Lucia's athletes are doing their part to maintain the island's legacy. What's missing now is not more hard work, punctuality, self-respect, and discipline. What is missing is the corporate and community effort that turned St. Lucia into a world-dominating sports powerhouse.
I don't see it yet to do. If only the people get together and give us the support, the finance, and the facilities, we could do it because we have Julians and Laverns and other sprinters we have, but to keep them because they need incentive, Sometimes they see a run, they got like a medal, they must say they're fishing that, I'm saying there. But if you get somebody to be with them, like a sponsor child, that child is until they leave school, okay, then you go see a difference. Because that child you don't have to hustle for food, you don't have to hustle for books, just come and train. Train and school, what better than that?
Without that corporate and community effort, however, Julian Alfred will not be the herald of great things to come for St. Lucia. She will remain, like Derek Walcott, an outlier whose success can be envied but never repeated. This is Jason Seafley for Choice News.
Of course, a really interesting piece there by Choice, Jason Seafley. Looking at the opinions of Twatine on this entire matter, and it is a fear. It is something that many have are commenting on. Is this simply going to be an outlier? Is this going to be that one-off individual who, yes, perhaps has another 3 Olympics to go and may very well continue to win medals, but who is in fact going to be joining her at those Olympics representing St. Lucia and moving on? And it is going to take, no doubt, a lot of effort, a lot of time, but a lot of grassroots programming. And I think we are perhaps at a point where we have seen a fair bit of investment in infrastructure over the years in terms of what can be considered world-class types of infrastructure in some areas. But then, of course, you then have the issues of access. Can these athletes, in fact, get into those types of facilities? And can they, in fact, and when I say get there, of course, they may, of course, have to get into a program that is there, if it is running or if it is not running. And that is part of the challenge, too. And so we've very much so over the years been more driven by the projects than the programs, right? And I think that is the challenge that we have seen, that, yes, we want to see the infrastructure, but the infrastructure has to be following the good programs that need to be in place to be able to help and develop these individuals. And the programs certainly have to go beyond the actual sport, because the sport itself is one aspect, and of course you do have to get the what I should say, you've got to get the coaching right, you've got to get the competitions right, you've got to get the equipment right, those things directly related to the sport. But you've also, as is rightfully being pointed out by Twatine, is that it's an ecosystem. It's that environment that individual has to be able to live in, and they've got to know that at the same time they're not fighting to be able to because they don't have enough money to take a bus to get to that location, or they don't have the proper nutrition to be able to ensure that they can stay healthy. And those are some of the other psychosocial supports that are required when, in fact, you have so many people out there who have great skills. So, as to where we are going to end up with moving forward in a situation where maybe right now we've perhaps have about 10 or 15 or so students on scholarship over in the United States of America. The question is, how many more can we be getting in there now that Julian Alfred has broken that ceiling, has raised the clear confidence level of very, very many more people, has also shown that, hey, this is an island of talent. This is an island that is producing champions. Uh, Scouts are going to be wondering, we should certainly be looking more and more at St. Lucia. And that's where the question is, how many more of those 2,000 or so students who are finishing up secondary school can now, in fact, be getting into these higher level programs and trainings that are needed. But in addition to that, the grassroots level is so very important. And we then have to also ask ourselves about the programming for the very young. And it's a matter that we sometimes don't perhaps appreciate sufficiently. That, yes, I mean, at the secondary school level, it's great to be seeing those types of competitions, but even at the very young level, at the grade K and what have you, even from that early age, the exposure of being able to uh, get an appreciation of different sports, that's really, really, really important. And it's a big challenge for a lot of schools because invariably we have a lot of schools that really don't have um, sporting facilities or even a playing field for to be able to actually get that opportunity to recreate. And you can think of many schools, for instance, in the Castries Basin, that find themselves in this sort of situation. Uh, you may only get to, if I'm to think of my own experience at a primary school, at the St. Aloysius RC Boys Primary School, you may only get to the playing field maybe once a year when that school has its sports meet. But invariably, you are playing in a very small, contained little yard or somewhere, very little space. And of course, those challenges are real challenges that we also have to look at. And how then can we move beyond that? Is it safe for children, for instance, to be participating and going out to be say that they want to go to the nearest park or playing field? And those issues then become really important. So it really certainly needs a tremendous look at that entire system that has to be around to be able to support not just sport, but certainly sport and learning on a whole beyond the walls of that school. That's our dish of the day. And we're going to continue because we've got a few other clips to play later on. But we're going to continue with that theme for the rest of our program. Of course, in just a bit, you'll also be able to call in.
This has been The Daily Dish.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+. Need all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gasway and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses Juguruzi Lanes, and Flag Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939.
Girl, I've been so stressed searching for the perfect tiles to complete my home. Really? Yeah, it's always the same white, beige, and gray tiles with these tile stores. Like they're all buying from the same place. You're the design expert. Help me, please. I'm fed up.
What are you looking for?
Something different. Something that says Caribbean beauty and suits my personality. Something vibrant and classy with a little razzle dazzle. Okay, Ms. Razzle Dazzle, I know just the place. Island Style Tile and Bath, they're my number one store for everything tile. And with their new In Living Color collection, you'll find the most gorgeous styles to give you that splash of Caribbean flair you're looking for. That sounds perfect. I'll even take you myself and throw in a free design consultation. I'll never say no to that, sis. I can't afford you anyway.
Visit our Island Style showrooms in Castries, Rodney Bay, and View Fort, or call 450-452 or 453 Tile. We'll help bring your vision to life in living color.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And that's all, of course, on the 1.1. It's now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talamba. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. The winds will be blowing from between the east. And that should be winds will be blowing from between the southeast and east near 17 miles per hour or 28 kilometers per hour. The weather fair skies becoming occasionally cloudy with a few light to moderate showers. The forecast for the Los Angeles. Elsewhere, fair to partly cloudy skies with widely scattered showers. And the tropical weather outlook and stable conditions associated with Hurricane Ernesto will continue to affect the northern portion of the Los Angeles, mainly during the first half of the forecast period. A relatively drier and more stable atmosphere will prevail over the remainder of the region. Ernesto becomes a hurricane north of Puerto Rico. At 11 a.m. today, the center of Hurricane Ernesto was located near latitude 20.5 degrees north and longitude 26, that should be 67.6 west, or 175 miles or 280 kilometers north of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Ernesto is moving towards the northwest near 16 miles per hour or 26 kilometers per hour. A turn towards the northwest. A turn towards the north-northwest and north with a gradual decrease in forward speed is expected tonight and Thursday. Maximum sustained winds are near 75 miles per hour or 120 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. The center of Ernesto will continue to move away from Puerto Rico today, move across to the western Atlantic during the next few days, and approach Bermuda Friday and Saturday. Also, a tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 20 miles per hour or 31 kilometers per hour. The axis of another tropical wave located over the far eastern tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 8 miles per hour or 13 kilometers per hour. No significant convection accompanies this wave. And this was your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talamba.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Girl, I've been so stressed searching for the perfect tiles to complete my home. Really? Yeah, it's always the same white, beige, and gray tiles with the style stores. Like they're all buying from the same place. You're the design expert. Help me, please. I'm fed up. What are you looking for? Something different. Something that says Caribbean beauty and suits my personality. Something vibrant and classy with a little razzle dazzle. Okay, Ms. Razzle Dazzle, I know just the place. Island Style Tile and Bath, they're my number one store for everything tile. And with their new In Living Color collection, you'll find the most gorgeous styles to give you that splash of Caribbean flair you're looking for. That sounds perfect. I'll even take you myself and throw in a free design consultation. I'll never say no to that, sis. I can't afford you anyway.
Visit our Island Style showrooms in Castries, Rodney Bay, and View Fort, or call 450-452 or 453 Tile. We'll help bring your vision to life in living color.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. Of course, we've been having a look at sporting culture, the importance of that, and our journey onwards from this watershed moment of Julian Alfred winning 2 medals for St. Lucia at the just concluded Paris Summer Olympics. And of course, St. Lucia has been participating in Olympics from 1996 back in Atlanta. And this, of course, has been the first time that we have been successful in actually winning Olympic medals. Now, a country that has been looked at as being having a fair bit of success over the years has been that of our sister island of Jamaica. Of course, much larger island with a population of about 2.8 million, nearly 3 million people, and has long been seen to be the largest country within the English speaking Caribbean. They have certainly been punching above their weight for quite some time. In fact, from what I can see of the records, Jamaica has in fact been participating in the competition in the Olympics since 1948. That was their first Olympic foray, and it went back to that time in just the post World War II era in London that those games were held in. And as far back as then, in fact, they had sent 13 athletes to those games, and in fact, were able to bring back a gold medal in that tournament with 3 medals in total. 1952 in Helsinki in Finland, they were able to actually, with 8 athletes heading across there, were able to bring back 5 medals, including 2 gold medals, and were able to, in fact, rank as high as 13th in those games. Did not participate in 1956. Well, no, not able to win any medals, I should say, in the 1956 games over in Melbourne, Australia. In 1960, I think we did mention that those games, the Caribbean, the British West Indies Federation was around. And in fact, I think within that grouping, 3 islands were able to send representatives as part of that federation team, including Jamaica, which had the biggest delegation, I think, of about 8. Barbados had 2, and Trinidad had 4. And they were able to actually win 2 medals in that instance. But of course, this was under the British West Indies Federation. Those were the games in Rome in 1960. 1964 in Tokyo, a large delegation, the largest thus far, 21 Jamaicans on that delegation, but they weren't able to actually bring back any medals then. 1968, another fairly large delegation of 25. And those games were in Mexico City, in this part of the hemisphere. And they were actually only able to bring back a silver medal in that tournament. 1972 in Munich, 33 Jamaican athletes participated. A bronze medal was what they were able to bring back in 1972. 1976, 20 athletes participated on behalf of Jamaica. 1 gold and 1 silver was the haul in the Montreal Olympics in that year, 1976. 1980 in Moscow, 18 athletes from Jamaica, and they were able to bring back 3 bronze medals. 1984 in Los Angeles, of course, the games are heading back there in 4 years' time. 45 athletes from Jamaica, and they were able to bring back a silver and 2 bronze. 1988 in Seoul, 35 athletes, and they were able to bring back 2 silver medals. 1992 and those were 36 athletes heading across to Barcelona in Spain, Catalonia, and they brought back 3 silver and 1 bronze medal. 1996, in fact, it seems to be in a point where we saw a fairly significant shift, I guess you could say. 46 athletes coming from Jamaica in that year. That certainly was the largest team thus far. And they were able to win that gold, 3 silvers, and two bronze, 6 medals in total in that competition. In Sydney, Australia, in the year 2000, for those Olympic Games, 45 athletes, 9 medals. Although the highest medal there were silver, 6 silver medals, and 3 bronze. 2004 in Athens, in Greece, they were able to win 2 gold medals, a bronze and 2 bronze and 1 silver. Beijing, 50 athletes in 2008 for Jamaica. And this perhaps has been their best performance, one could say, in terms of the rankings that they were able to achieve in terms of the world at Beijing. And this is perhaps, of course, the heights of individuals like, I think Bolt was already running by then. And Jamaica was able to win 5 gold medals. And of course, nearly, I think, barring just 1 medal thus far, all of Jamaica's medals have in fact been in athletics. They were able to win 5 gold medals in Beijing, 4 silver and 2 bronze medals, a total of 11 medals in that competition. And they, in fact, that was their best rank, coming in 15th in the world in terms of total medals in those Beijing Games. London again in 2012, 50 athletes again, and this time, in fact, more medals, the highest that they've ever actually gotten, 13 medals in those games. 4 were gold, 5 silver, and 4 bronze, a total of 13. They ended up being ranked 18th in the world. 2016 in Rio de Janeiro. Of course, by that point, Jamaica was definitely on a roll, and they, in fact, sent a team of 56 athletes. 6 gold medals were achieved in the Rio Games in Brazil, 3 silver and 2 bronze, a total of 11 medals coming out of that Olympic Games, those summer games. In 2020 in Tokyo, of course, that happened actually in 2021. There was a team of 48 Jamaican athletes, and they were in fact able to bring back 9 medals. So the medal count came down. Of course, it peaked in London in 2012. 9 medals came back in 2021 from Tokyo, 4 gold and 4 bronze, 1 silver. And that ranking came up a little bit to 21 in the world. And in the Paris Games, with 58 athletes, this time around, 6 medals in total, and in fact, just 1 gold in this instance. So, certainly, you've seen between 2008 and 2020 a significant number of gold medals. Jamaica, you could say, was easily averaging about 11 total medals during that period of time. It seems that the sine curve has gotten to an ebb at this point, and perhaps with new athletes coming on, some of the older athletes, of course, retiring, you're now seeing again a shift in the current situation. It'll be very interesting, of course, to see what happens in 2028. Of course, it is perhaps the country that seems to have the strongest culture, in particular in terms of athletics, and it is recognized around the world as a hotspot in this regard. People are heading across there to study what is going on and to see the outcomes of that. I believe we do actually have a clip available which looks at that experience of the Jamaica story by way of what individuals are actually able to achieve there. And one of the notable schools is that of St. Iago, or some people may say St. Jago, of course, as in the case of Jamaica. That school producing quite a lot of their medalists. And this is an interesting piece about a gentleman who went across to study what is happening over in Jamaica. Let's take a listen.
When you hit the line, you know, all the nerves, everything is there, all the emotion. You're right in the moment, you're in the blocks, and right then and there, you know, it's time to go. When it says set, this is time to show what you've really been doing. The gun goes off, and it's just electric.
Record-breaking sprinters like Usain Bolt have given Jamaica its reputation for athletic prowess. They dominate on the world stage. But many star athletes like Johan Blake started out on the same track. St. Jago High School has pumped out more Olympic medalists than any other school in the country. I've come to find out how they do it and see if I stand a chance against the next generation. I've been a sports fan for as long as I can remember. I was an avid soccer player as a young kid, and even now I try to stay fit by cycling and running. But from what I've heard, training here at St. Jago is not for the faint of heart. If I'm going to keep up with these boys, I'll need all the help I can get.
Thank you so much. So, honorary St. Jago running shirts. Will these make me go faster?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Give me wings. All right. Thanks, Coach.
If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the Plexi Kings, 1 in a million, the billions ahead. If I was born to be a winner, then I'ma grow up to be a go-getter. Blood, sweat, and tears written in the...
I don't know if my legs can go this high, Coach. Yeah. Try it. Good. Down to the rhythm. Down to the rhythm. Good. Good. Use your arms.
Work for 23. Every day of my life, the win is all I see. Train harder than most, it's more than a dream. This is reality. I was born to be king. Break the sweat from my soul as I reach out there and then let it go.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I can feel my heartbeat in my feet. And I seem to be the only one sweating here. I really don't know why. Do you think I have a chance against him?
No.
You look me deep in the eyes there.
These kids are natural athletes, incredibly fit, and clearly have the edge on me. Most of them are training 2 to 3 hours a day, up to 6 days a week. But what is it that makes their training so special?
I think over the years we traditionally have developed a formula that has contributed to the rich history we have here in Jamaica.
And what is that formula?
Well,
without giving the secrets away.
No. Well, there are commonalities across programs where you want to try to train as systematic as possible and also take in consideration the individual needs.
The physical training to get to the top is tailored to each sprinter. But young hopeful Jaheen Bell tells me there's more to it.
Why do you think it is that Jamaica produces so many top athletes?
Well, I believe it's in the mind, you know? And we have to really want it to get it. And I believe we have some good athletes out there who really want it, so it shows on the track.
What creates that attitude, that desire here?
Well, it depends on your background. If you're from a background that's not really wealthy, it's giving more motivation to do the track and field and excel.
St. Jago School is in Spanish Town, about 20 minutes outside Kingston. It's a poor area rife with crime, so programs like this offer a pathway out.
Why I do this?
basically is to get a scholarship to better myself and my family, basically.
What would it mean to your family if you can get that scholarship?
It mean a lot, to take off the financial burden
Yeah.
of my mom and my sisters and rest of the family members.
Fighting for their futures, these athletes are pushing themselves mentally and physically, hoping it all makes the difference when it's time to race. The boys have let me join their lineup. From what I've seen of their training, I know now I don't stand a chance. But here, among us, could be Jamaica's next sprinting.
Right. And that piece, unfortunately, I know you couldn't have gotten to see some of the actual visuals and the actions of what was going on. But I think the important aspect being captured there is the need to actually drive that zeal to perform and to compete and to see it as sport, in fact, being a ladder of opportunity for many of these individuals. And of course, it is very, very, very competitive in the case of Jamaica. And the need to have competition too, of course, at the school level is something that I think we need to also ensure occurs. We perhaps don't have too much of a equality when it comes to schools in terms of that quote unquote level playing field, because some schools have far better facilities than others when it comes to having courts or having a decent sized playing field, or even the number of students enrolled in the school. For instance, the VA4 Comprehensive has traditionally done very, very well. They happen to be one of the largest schools in terms of enrollment, and of course, they have an excellent playing field. So, well, not really that excellent, but a large enough playing field at Larry Seuss, which perhaps helps in terms of some of their training. So, definitely, it is a matter that needs to be carefully studied. In these things, it's there's nothing wrong with looking at methods, looking at what is best practice, and seeing how they can be fit and replicated for purpose within our actual setting right here in the case of St. Lucia. So yes, we may be a much smaller island, but in fact, there was even a time, one could say, when we had, and to some degree it still happens, but um, competition across the Windward Islands. Maybe that might be something that we can see to ensure that, in fact, those things can get to a broader pool of competition within our islands. Clearly, the Eastern Caribbean has done pretty well in terms of representing and taking up some of the medals in this year's Summer Games, and certainly let's hope that we can continue to see that developed. But it will take some very deliberate and active action, and perhaps a significant shift towards making that type of leap that is necessary in terms of sports culture here in St. Lucia and in the Eastern Caribbean. Of course, you may be wondering, Jamaica's first gold medal was actually a gentleman by the name of Arthur Wint. And that was back, as I said, in 1948. He, in fact, won 2 medals, gold in the 400 as well as the 800 meters back in 1948. And as well, a gentleman by the name of Herb McKinley was actually able to come silver, second place in that 400 meters as well. And they effectively kicked off that long tradition of medal winning. And of course, that was continued by none other than Usain Bolt back in the Beijing Olympics, and again in the London Olympics. So certainly they've got, and in the Rio Olympics. In fact, I think he in fact was able to win both the 100 meters and 200 meters at Beijing, at London, as well as Rio de Janeiro. Quite an astounding achievement, certainly, for him there. So we, of course, are hoping to see how that can actually happen. And there's been lots of conversations and contributions being made from different individuals about the need for improved facilities. There's a clip that we have. I think we don't be able to get enough time to actually play it. Maybe some program this week we can continue to have that conversation, contribution regarding the need for additional facilities to be able to ensure that you've got good opportunities for individuals to train and to practice. One of the matters being raised is the need for having a track, an athletics track in the north of the island. Currently, as far as I'm aware, we have two athletics tracks. One, of course, at the George Odlum National Stadium, and as well, there was one which was recently put down at Soufrière, at the Soufrière Mini Stadium. The north of the island does not have such a facility at the moment. And of course, perhaps that is something to certainly consider in terms of ensuring better access to facilities for individuals, the 55% or so of the population that actually lives in the north of the island. But we can continue to have that conversation at another program. Tomorrow, we actually are going to be having a guest in studio. That is Senator Lisa Jawahir. She's going to be on telling us about the upcoming Walk for Progress that is being put on by the St. Lucia Labour Party. Of course, I think that's coming up on the 25th of August, and she'll be telling us a bit of the rationale behind this Walk for Progress. That's our time for today. We do hope that you have a blessed and great day. I'm your host, Alex George Jr., saying goodbye.
Give me the island breeze, cool them vibes, coconut jelly, peas and rice, house and land, now we sharp like a knife, green in abundance, real love around me, yeah. You want to know where we coming from? Say you want come look for me, yeah. If you're willing to have some fun, I could keep you company. Move that way, come girl, blunder right by me. Squeeze that.